Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TPN Talks with Leticia. Today, we have a very special guest, Dustin Fortado, Peer Support Program Manager in Jackson County. Thank you so much, Dustin, for having this conversation with me today. Why don't we start with you just introducing yourself, maybe how long you've been with TPN, and then anything else that you might want to share with our community about you.
Yeah, my name's Dustin Fortado. I'm the peer support program manager, one of the peer support program managers in Jackson County. I worked for TPN starting in the end of 2020 for 2 years, was gone for a year and a half, and now I've been back for about a year and a half. I've been working in the field since like 2016. And I started off at a treatment center, and I've been doing peer support work ever since, and just super passionate about it. I actually was doing volunteer work before that, trying to expand what peer work is in Jackson County and across the state. So
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that about yourself. Let's talk a little bit about peer support and peer support programming. You are, in many ways, kind of one of the key founders, especially of the expansion of peer support programming. So will you talk a little bit about your journey and what stands out for you along this journey, and even maybe what you're thinking about or dreaming about in the future?
yeah, so when I first started doing peer support work, it was at a treatment center, and it was a strange thing. I thought it was going to be a lot of things, but it was just basically like faxing assessments for counselors and things like that. I just felt like our experience as peers could do so much more. And so I had a couple mentors along the way, and we just started expanding what peers do and becoming more independent. I was the first manager of the Resilience and Recovery Project in Jackson County, our first peer program at the Pathfinder Network. When I came, that's really what I wanted to do, and I wanted to show the value of the positive effect peers could have in people's lives from their lived experience. 12-step program really started peer work 100 years ago. The therapeutic value of one addict or alcoholic helping another is what peer work was. It took us so long to develop to what it is today. It doesn't seem like that far of a leap, but now I feel like people are seeing the value of what peers are and the value of lived experience in the field of recovery. Especially for me, my passion is with justice involved individuals, and that's what brought me to the Pathfinder Network, because being a justice involved individual myself for a lot of years, I turned an 18-month probation into 6 years. So I made all the mistakes. And the beautiful part about that is I never thought that there would be a benefit to that. In the end, we've made all the mistakes. We're all people that have walked through these systems and been able to eventually make all the mistakes, and then eventually navigate the systems and get off probation and live productive lives in society. We've been involved at the transition center since we started here, but we've recently expanded into the jail, which is something I've been really passionate about over the years. I've always tried to work with the Jackson County Jail and the multiple different, hats that I wear in life. When I was sitting in a cell at the end of a run, that's the most willing I ever was to do anything about changing my life. And so now we're actually able to be in the Jackson County Jail, which is a beautiful thing. I see peer work going even further. That's really my concentration right now, is trying to build and maintain the relationship with the jail programs and just help prove what we as the Pathfinder Network and the Resilience Recovery Project already know, is that this thing works, and how we've have it set up and how we've built this program, it works. It's changing people's lives, and we're the vessel to get people to be productive members of society and help them find their way, walking alongside them. So that's really where my focus is at right now, is working, in the community, obviously in the programs that we have, but really pouring an emphasis into the jail programs.
Yeah, that's so exciting to see the work expand and to be able to see examples every day of the impact. This year, we completed a survey. 82% of people at the Pathfinder Network experience some kind of lived experience in their life. We have over 30 funded peer positions. We served 1,818 people last year with peer support services. Being that you were one of the kind of pioneers of the expansion of, what does that represent for you?
I knew it was going to be successful, because I knew when I came here that, yourself, Sherry, Laura, you all had the drive to and the open-mindedness to do the things that were suggested about peer work, but I don't think that I could have imagined the expansion that we've experienced, especially into multiple counties, so quickly. Just have this pilot program that was built out of nothing in one single tiny room with 12 peers. This is where my heart is. There's no place that I'd rather be because we're on the cutting edge of what peer work is. And I've been to these conferences and I've heard what other agencies are doing, and we are definitely on the cutting edge of continuing to really invent what the work is and then build up evidence-based practices to show these other places like you need peers to be in every aspect of folks' life, especially justice involved folks that are trying to get their life back on track.
Yeah, like carrying that message forwards. And sometimes it's not in what we say, but it's in what we do, right? And what we demonstrate in the community is possible. Like, yeah, we're powered by lived experience. Like, that's what powers this big engine that we're building. I want to ask you a fun question now. What's your favorite thing about working at TPN?
It's different than any other place that I've been. We're so accountable to one another. That's a beautiful thing, and you don't get that very often at places. The relationships that I built with the people that I've worked with here are so everlasting. Even when I, left for that amount of time, I still maintain the relationships that I had with everyone. Here, it's love, compassion, and not why are you taking time off? Like, what do you need? So that's what I love most about TPN is family and culture that we've developed.
I love the way you describe it as being accountable to each other because at any point, we might need that from each other. We give it, but we are also, able to ask for that help and receive that help and support or the nudge that we might need. I can depend on that I'm going to be seen if I need support or
Yeah.
encouragement. So it makes sense that that's one of your favorite things. Our mission is to provide justice system impacted individuals and families the tools and support that they need to be safe and thrive in our communities. So what's that mean to Dustin, and what's the future look like at TPN?
What it means to me is continuing to look forward. Systems are not perfect. They're and not near, and it's tough. Some people fight against the system. We are different in the fact that we embed ourselves within it, and we try to change it from within. We've seen it and observed it working in the probation office, complete culture change and shift, working at the transition centers that we do, working within the jail, we can already see it. Having folks be safe and thrive in their communities means us continuing to push forward and be like I said earlier, on that cutting edge of what peer support and helping system impact individuals looks like, and constantly trying to think forward on those things and just think outside the box. We don't have to continue to work with things that don't work or haven't worked in the past. We can think of new ideas and new ways to help impact people in a positive manner. One thing that we're doing right now is the advisory board that I've been a part of is we're gathering information from past participants, community members. That's who we need our feedback from, is from people that are participants in our program, have been participants, and members of our communities, and ask them what we need, because we don't always have the best ideas. But the fact is, most of the time, other people that are experiencing the system and experiencing our program and experiencing our participants in the community, they have ideas that we never thought of. So just thinking outside the box and getting into those spaces where people can share that information. What the future looks like is trying to be involved in those things. TPN's my home. This is where I'm going to be for any foreseeable future that I have. And getting the right people in the positions that we need to have them in to do the best work to affect the best change in the people's lives that we're serving.
Well, Dustin, I just thank you so much for this conversation today and sharing what you did with our community. Also, just want to thank you for all your contributions. It's been an honor to get to partner with you. I'm just excited for the vision you shared and for where we're headed as an organization. So many thanks to you. And thank you to everybody who tuned in today for another episode of TPN Talks with Leticia. We will see you next time. Take care, everyone.